Part 358. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3571. Caog, the inspector of the city guards of Guangming Shenzhen, hid behind Ziahe Xiaotian, and then sneered secretly. Everyone suddenly looked unhappy. No one thinks you are dumb when you don't speak. But if you talk about these messes, there is no need. The sourness comes and goes, who will show the sourness? But this Caog also has self-knowledge, he is afraid of being beaten by his uncle Ji, so he has been hiding behind Ziahe Xiaotian. In this case, no matter how angry Taishaji is, at least restrain himself, and worry about Ziahe Xiaotian's face. If you want to do it, just come. It's inconvenient for me to shoot because of my identity, and I hope you can help me punch a few more. Ziahe Xiaotian suddenly took a few steps aside, exposing Caog, then shrugged and said calmly. Caog. Feeling the emptiness in front of him, he was a little confused for a while. Good guy, what kind of routine is this? Damn, I didn't understand. What the hell are you trying to do? Can we hold on? The corners of Caog's mouth twitched, his eyes flashed, and the posture of gnashing his teeth was fully displayed. Ziahe Xiaotian, what do you mean? Are you trying to murder me? Sure enough, really bad intentions. I should have seen your wolf ambition long ago. You and I are at stake. Disordered in the wind, Caog couldn't help shrinking his neck. Oh. You've already said that you're at odds with me, so shouldn't it be natural for me to stand up? Is there something wrong with this? Ziahe Xiaotian yawned and said calmly. Caog opened his mouth, he didn't know what to say now. It makes sense. Ha ha ha. Thank you brother Ziahe for making it happen. This guy's mouth really sucks. I've long wanted to beat him again, but it's not good to offend brother Ziahe. Now brother Ziahe, step aside, I can do it easily. This bastard, when the Protoss came over, he kept hiding. Now that the Protoss is gone, he has become crazy. I'll beat you to death. Uncle G has always had a fiery temper, and now he was talking, and walked forward with gritted teeth, and then his whole body's combat power burst out. Boom. Bang bang bang. 1 punch is in place, 2 punches are in the flesh, and 3 punches are bang. Hiss. Oh shit. The injury is a bit serious. It's a wound. Taishaji couldn't help but frown as he fought. It was still a bit traumatic to fight against the quasi-demigod powerhouse of the Protoss before. Look, you can see that you are injured, let me go. Let me tell you. We both have the same realm, almost the same. You were indeed better than me in your prime, but now that you're injured, to be honest, you're not necessarily better than me. I advise you to take care of yourself and don't do these things. If you really hurt me, I'll let you go around. The matter has come to this point, you have to figure it out for me. Caog, the inspector of the city guards of Guangming Shenzhen, saw that Taishaji was seriously injured, his eyes lit up, and he felt that his opportunity had come, and he actually started threatening at this moment. Master! You take this thing. The injury will heal soon. Fang Fan shrugged, then stepped forward and put the holy venerable healing card in the palm of Taishaji. Uncle G's eyes lit up, he naturally knew about this thing, Fang Fan even auctioned it at an auction before. It's just that there seemed to be only ordinary sanctuary level healing cards at that time, but now I didn't expect that there were even this kind of holy level healing cards. Taishaji held the holy venerable healing card, and the holy venerable healing card disappeared in an instant, and his injuries were healed. Now even more brave 3-pointers than before the injury. I let you threaten me. I'll make you a bitch. I asked you to speak ill of my apprentice. Boom. Bang bang bang. Fist see blood. Caog's face no longer knew what it looked like after being beaten. He looked at all this numbly, and the corners of his mouth began to twitch crazily. Collapsed. It's all broken. Ah. Ah. Aren't you seriously injured? How so? Damn it. Damn it. Ah. Let go, let me go. Don't slap your face. I was wrong. I dare not. It's my fault. Why do you look like this? It hurts, it really hurts. The appearance of wailing is too real. As for the others, there is no need to care about them. Taishaji started, but it was very dark. Strangeness. Just now, Uncle G was still seriously injured. Why, how did you go there, Fang Fan, and everything recovered? Wu Meiling, deputy head of Guangming Academy, frowned and said in surprise. For it. It's just a small trick. Because my master has not stepped into the demigod realm yet, so it's okay. But if you step into the demigod realm, it won't work. So mistress, what, I'm sorry. Fang Fan shrugged and then explained. At present, he does not have a demigod level healing card in his hand. This is a flaw. Only after his cultivation has been pushed up can the cards of this daily series be fully upgraded. Ah. It's okay, no problem. You, what did you call me just now? You little brat, why are you as dishonest as your master? Truth has its teachers and its disciples. Wu Meiling's beautiful eyes trembled involuntarily, and while speaking, the attitude of gnashing her teeth was fully displayed. At this moment, while talking, her mentality seemed a little fluttering. Obviously I am very happy in my heart, but I can't express it so obviously, so I have to pretend to be very angry. Fang Fan is too familiar with this routine. Oh. I called it wrong. Aren't you my mistress? Why? Since that's the case, let me call others. Fang Fan nodded and said seriously. Don't. You kid, you are not honest at all. Forget it. You can call it whatever you like. The mouth grows on you, so I can control you. Humph. You kid, you've always been like this. Stop learning from your master in the future. Wu Meiling turned her beautiful eyes, and then said seriously. In a few words, all kinds of gestures are naturally in place. I have to say, it's quite appropriate. Why? Master, are you still worried that Fang Fan will learn from Master? You don't know how depraved this kid is. Master, don't be fooled by this kid's rhetoric. This guy is very bad. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3572. Bai Piao rolled his eyes, and then came over to do something appropriately. This. It is clearly a complaint. This guy is a little drifting now. Bad. What's wrong with him? Why didn't I see it? Wu Meiling, deputy head of Guangming Academy, raised her eyebrows, looking a little surprised. It's you, the sly-eyed? Are you Taishaji's apprentice too? Why haven't I heard Taishaji mention it? Wu Meiling frowned, then asked curiously. Bai Piao. Why? Immediately felt sad. What is going on here? Master, this old guy is shameless. All day long, Fang Fan's boy, his precious disciple, is on his mind. Thinking of him like Bai Piao, it's like being raised by a stepmother. This taste is really not good. Slowly, my brain started buzzing. This gesture cannot be expressed simply in a few words. Just very confused. Sometimes my brain hurts. Master, I have always been more well-behaved and sensible, and I don't make Master angry, so my sense of existence is low. Why? It's not like Fang Fan, who likes to flirt with flowers. Master doesn't know how many times he said it, and he won't change it. Master, just take a look. Student Xiangfei. Student Chu Sisi. Student Lu Jiyi. Student Li Yulai. Good guy. There are 4 of them in front of me. There are more, so I won't say. The more you talk, the more. I can't remember so many names. I guess Fang Fan can't remember it either. It's only been a few years. Why? At this rate of development, the organizational system of a reinforced regiment is not enough for him to create. Bai Piaoxu babbled, and couldn't help but began to criticize in an all-round way. This guy is so flamboyant that he really doesn't hesitate. After all, the excited look on his face was all in place. Just, very real. What the hell can I say? Fang Fan opened his mouth, his expression could not help but appear very abrupt. White floating, so beautiful. There are so many stories. It seems that Fang Fan, you are really lucky. It seems that there is something unique about being able to please girls like this. Wu Meiling nodded, with a hint of a joke on her face. Fang Fan opened his mouth, he really didn't know what to say now. Just, embarrassing. This guy Bai Biao completely roasted him on the flames. Especially the concubine Xiao Liulixiang and her daughters suddenly regained their energy at this moment, and they all moved to Bai Biao's side to inquire about information. How many women did Fang Fan have affairs with? Is my husband so prodigal? When did it all happen? By the way, where are those women now? Could it be that my husband has changed his mind and abandoned him? No. No way. It's not really like this, is it? So that's the case, there must be a real meaning in it. Bai Biao, tell me quickly, what are their names? There is also a trace of jealousy in these words. The more I talk, the more excited I get, the more I talk, the more surging. This attitude is fully displayed. 3 women in one drama. There are 4 of them here. And it also involves such a surging topic, how can you not be excited? It is impossible to say that a woman is not jealous at all. If she is really not jealous at all, it can only show that she doesn't have much feeling for you. I was already prepared, but I thought there were only 4 sisters. Now it seems that the rhythm of the 4 sisters will become 40. 4 is still acceptable, at least 1 point can be scored, if there are really 40, how? Doesn't this love change in an instant? The feeling here is simply not too real. At the moment Fang Fan is 1 head and too big. He wished he could directly seal Bai Biao's mouth. This kind of thing can only be understood and unspeakable. Did you say it all out of your mouth? What the hell, didn't you sell me directly? How will I mix then? This is too difficult. The corner of Fang Fan's mouth twitched, and at this moment, he felt a little pain in his head. Nothing. Play with hammer. Why, are you still shy? Your master was also Xioxi's son back then. At that time, I didn't know how many foxes wanted to hook up with your master. Not to mention anything else, just that little goblin from Yuanqi Academy, what is her name, Lanmei? And that little sister Qian from the Dark Temple. There is also Tianwu Hall. Wu Meiling is like a treasure, the more she talks, the more excited she becomes, and the more she talks, the more resentment looks on her face. The true meaning here cannot be simply expressed in a few words. Fang Fan opened his mouth, and couldn't help but glance at his master's position. Good guy. This. What is going on? It looks pretty honest. Have the seas been difficult for water? Since it used to be so turbulent, how did it stop now? It seems that there is no trace of other teachers. Could it be that he was not confused in his early years? Know little about this stuff? Still hard to find true love? Fang Fan smiled silently, suddenly feeling a strong comedic effect. The true meaning here cannot be simply expressed in a few words. Very real, very clear. Master, what I told you is true. Fang Fan is the last thing. You must stay away from this guy. This guy not only flirts with women, but even the goddess. Goddess Starry Night, you should have heard of it, right? That's the true god of God's domain. But when you're in front of this guy, you don't care at all, what should be or what should be. Now the Starry Night goddesses are all over the world wanting to kill him with their divine consciousness. I don't know how many times the divine sense has descended. Bai Piaoxu babbled, the more he talked, the more excited he became. This guy He Fangfan is considered addicted to He. Especially in front of Wu Meiling, the prospective wife, she spared no effort. Yes, yes, I know it all. Look, I often see you two inseparable. Since Fang Fan's luck is so good, you shouldn't be bad, right? How? How many times have you provoked? Where is it? Who is it? Show me. Wu Meiling blinked, with a gossip look, getting more and more excited as she talked. Bai Piao. That aside, we're still good friends. If you have to say this, I will feel uncomfortable. This. I'm having a hard time. How can I say this? Immediately my heart was broken. Cough. What about me? I am in order to cultivate my body and mind, so I don't care much about these men and women. I've always felt that we should start a business first and then start a family. So, there is absolutely nothing to worry about. You can't be so hasty. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3573. Oh. What do you mean? I almost understand. That is to say, there is nothing. Still alone. Wu Meiling nodded, and then said seriously. This hurts, in an instant. Bai Piao. Even if the facts are like this, but you can't say that. What you did, I feel so embarrassed. I feel like something is stuck in my heart. Why? A single dog can't afford to be hurt. Why? This. I just simply don't want my top speed to be affected by a woman. I want to follow in Master's footsteps, take his old man as an example, and devote myself to cultivation. As for the others, they can be ignored for the time being. Anyway, I don't care anyway. Bai Piao is now in the state of a dead duck's mouth. But if you don't say that at a time like this, what else can you say? Admit yourself? Everyone is on the scene, so really don't you want to lose face? Thinking up to this point, all kinds of ideas burst out in an all-round way. The more I think about it, the more it feels like this. The feeling is also taking off in an all-round way. Call. What are you talking about? The discussion was so intense. That dog, the bones are too soft, it's meaningless to beat him. If that old man Shui Wanren didn't stop him, I'd send him to heaven with one fist. Grand Uncle Ji pouted and walked over, and raised his eyebrows as he spoke, with a calm look on his face. You, when will you stop being so reckless? All your apprentices are still here. You came up with this trick to let your apprentices follow suit? Are you just following you? You don't look like a master at all. Don't be so reckless in the future. Be sure to think clearly about the consequences of doing things. Don't just rush forward without thinking about anything. Wu Meiling, deputy head of the Guangming Academy, was speaking and then couldn't help but sighed from the side. In a few words, it seems to be the purest idea. Even a fool can see this concern. The relationship between the two is completely solid. And this time Tai Shuja didn't deny it at all. Or, just accept it? Fang Fan raised his eyebrows, and a smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. So good. Everything is ready. I'm going back soon. It's been so long since I left the Bright God City, I hope there are no problems there. After we go back, we need to coordinate and plan the overall situation. Now we have completely torn face with these Protoss cultivators. These Protoss are powerful, and obviously no force can fight against them. If it really comes to the last moment, no matter whether it is our light camp, dark camp, or neutral camp, I am afraid that we will all unite and act together. Otherwise, I'm afraid it will be difficult to resist. Shui Wanren walked over frowning, not looking so optimistic. As the deputy head of Guangming Academy in charge of daily affairs, he is in control of the entire Guangming Academy when the head of the house is away. There are still some concerns in my heart. At the very least, don't wander around. Steady, must be steady. If there is a slight deviation, it may be a cold end. Deputy Palace Master, are you so alarmist? It's as if the end of the world is about to come. Soldiers come to block the water and cover it with earth, how simple it is. Although these Protoss cultivators are not bad at fighting, they are still flesh and blood after all. Isn't the whole army wiped out this time? Aren't there tens of thousands of Protoss cultivators who are bleeding blood under the city of Shenzhen? Looking at their lineup every time they appear, the Protoss should not have a large population. Tai Shuji shrugged, looking optimistic. As he spoke, the smile on his face increased. For Tai Shuja, as long as someone comes, just do it and it's over. You. Why? It's enough for you to be the vanguard. But if you are the commander-in-chief, I'm afraid the army will be killed. The battle situation is not how you see it. Not every cultivator can have your combat power. In individual battles, the cultivators of our light camp are obviously far behind the Protoss. If we don't grasp this aspect, the next time the Protoss invades again, we may really be overwhelmed. This time we can kill tens of thousands of Protoss, but next time they send hundreds of thousands or even millions. Don't forget, we don't have any effective communication with these Protoss at all. Even now, we haven't even figured out their language. The captives who were captured basically couldn't make any words. Things are not as simple as you think. Shui Wanren sighed and shook his head involuntarily while speaking. The more I think about it, the more various thoughts I have in my heart. This feeling, condensed in the heart. After all, these troubles have to be borne by people. It is said that the sky is falling and the tall one is holding it up. But the tall ones have to face these cruel situations after all. In the entire light camp, in fact, generally speaking, existences like Shui Wanren are already considered top existences. He must consider all these issues. Correct. Fang Fan bastard, I seem to see a giant cannon in the distance before. The giant cannon is very powerful. A single shell can kill thousands of Protoss cultivators in an instant. This giant cannon, where did you get it? If there are 10 such giant cannons, it would be much easier to defend a city. Shui Wanren's eyes lit up, and he said urgently at the moment. At this moment, the only way to arm yourself is to get close to everything possible. Only when you become strong enough can you fight against the enemy. Here are the fundamentals. For it. This. I also found it in an ancient ruin by chance. And it's just that one. If you want to make up 10 doors, it is indeed a bit unrealistic. Fang Fan said frankly at the epic level. This situation is like this. The Extinguishing God cannon was actually brought by the Extinguishing God Artillery Corps. In the whole world, it is estimated that there is only such a school. Want more? Not very likely. Why? So, it's a pity. But it's really good for you to have this opportunity. Shui Wanren, deputy head of Guangming Academy, nodded with a satisfied smile on his face. he is still satisfied from the bottom of his heart with his son-in-law who is riding a dragon fast. Although from time to time I will go to suppress and complain, but this benevolent heart has never changed. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3574. Everyone, you have helped us a lot this time, and I hope you can stay, at least let us do some landlord friendship. Tonight, we are setting up a dinner party in the God City of the 7th Academy, and I hope that everyone can come to the banquet. At that time, we will have a good time with wine and talk, so we will be happy. Ji Lan, the Dean of Tianwu Academy and the Lord of Shencheng City of the 7th Academy, stepped forward and couldn't help but smile more on his face while talking. As the master, it's normal to want to express something. For it. This. Let's forget it for now. Now is not the time to have fun. President Ji Lan, don't be so polite. Now it's all about keeping it simple. We deal with some follow-up finishing matters and go back. The safety of Guangming God City is also the top priority. Xiaoho Xiaotian, the commander of the city guards of Guangming God City, stepped forward and sighed softly. Xiaoho Xiaotian seems to be quite rough on the surface, but in fact he is not like that in essence. In dealing with military incidents, he completely demonstrated a careful attitude. Be courageous and resourceful, and be the commander-in-chief. Commander Xiaohe is right, that's what I mean too. President Ji Lan, we all know your intentions, and we all understand them, but in this critical period, we must put the overall situation first. Shui Wanren nodded and echoed. Snort. A group of hypocrites with hypocrisy. If you are really worried about Guangming God City, you should have returned to help. If the Protoss really split up and attacked the Guangming God City, the Guangming God City would have been destroyed long ago. How can there be such things? Caog, the inspector of the city guards of Guangming Shenzhen, wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, but the twitching problem still hasn't changed. The editor was talking, and from time to time, he would follow with a wave of emotion. Anyway, this is a lot of nonsense. It has always been like this. It's relevant, it's real. What this guy is most afraid of is Tai Shuji. Tai Shuji's one look over can scare away the 6 souls from the 7 souls. Report, report. The Holy Order of the Holy League of Light has arrived. Roar. Suddenly there was a burst of dragon chant in the distance. Immediately, a real dragon galloped over from a distance, and the momentum appeared to be full. In the real dragon car, there is also a herald holding a golden token at this moment. The real dragon roared in the air, and even the entire car was shaking violently. Pope decree. It's still the highest regulation. How can it be? The Pope's decree is not issued all the time. It will only appear when there is a major incident in the Temple of the Alliance of Light. The Pope's order represents the supreme will of the Pope. This call. There must be tricks in this. It seems that the situation here is really not small. If I didn't guess wrong, I'm afraid it will be very involved. Did something really happen to the bright God city? Could it be that the army of the Protoss is really oppressed under the city of Guangming? Shui Wanren took a deep breath, his brows furrowed involuntarily, and his expression suddenly changed. If something really happened to the bright God city, it would be hard to escape the blame. There is also a temporary Guangming Academy in the bright God city. The true meaning in this is fully displayed. I hope it's okay. Otherwise, I will be a sinner of the Guangming Academy through the ages. Shui Wanren muttered to himself, with complicated thoughts. The more I think about it now, the more messy thoughts I have. Don't sigh here. Listen to what it says. Don't scare yourself first. Tai Shiji shrugged, and then complained from the side. Now the herald has arrived. Pope decree. Assemble Yuanqi Shenchang. Discuss major issues together. Order the commander of the city guards of Guangming Shenchang to lead the city guards Engyi to go to Yuanqi Shenchang to defend against foreign enemies. Order Shui Wanren, deputy head of Guangming Academy, to lead the elite of Guangming Academy to Yuanqi God City to help. The surrounding shouts increased, and everyone's eyes gathered here. Each of them looked at each other, and their expressions were changing, especially real. What a wonderful feeling. Go to Yuanshishan City to discuss important matters? Defend against foreign enemies? What kind of trick is this? Why are some things unclear? Could it be that the Protoss ran to attack Yuanqi Shenchang? The so-called Yuanqi Divine City is the newly established city of Yuanqi Academy in the territory of the Divine Land, which is located in the northeast of the Guangming Divine City. What's going on? Why did the Pope suddenly send a message to let us go to the city of Yuanqi? How is the situation in Bright God City? Shui Wanren stepped forward and asked directly, frowning at this moment, feeling more and more strange. The more I think about it, the more I feel something is wrong. Deputy Palace Master Shui, everything is fine in Guangming God City. It was the practitioners of the Yuanqi God City who discovered the city built by the Protoss not far from the Yuanqi God City. Now Yuanqi Shenchang is the closest to the Protoss city, and it is also a direct confrontation with Yuanqi Shenchang. Now Yuanqi Divine City and Protoss City are directly frozen. We never gave in to each other. Looking at this trend, I'm afraid it's really going to be a bloody battle to the end. Relying on the strength of Yuanqi Shenchang and Yuanqi Academy alone can't resist the full-scale invasion of the Protoss city, so Yuanqi Academy asked for help from all major forces, threatening that if they don't come to help Yuanqi Shenchang, they will just abandon the city and flee. If this scene really happens by then, it will completely collapse. At that time, the major forces will probably withdraw directly from the territory of God's land. It is precisely because of this that all universities and colleges are organizing people to go to Yuanqi College to resist the Protoss. Now the temples and forces behind the various colleges and universities have also gathered. The Pope said that the Protoss is strong and unpredictable. Now we need to temporarily put aside the grievances between the light and dark camps, and we need to unite to fight against the Protoss. This is the first priority right now. The herald groaned, and then explained the specific situation thoroughly. In general, it is quite detailed. So, the so-called 100,000 Protoss invasion was just a small squad. All the troops gathered around Yuanqi Divine City. The world of the Protoss is becoming clearer. Being able to make the Pope let go of the enmity between light and darkness, one can imagine how powerful the Protoss is. Wu Meiling frowned, then sighed silently. At this moment, the situation is far less indifferent than imagined. The situation is still very dangerous. If you are not careful, you may be directly involved. Why? I had a hunch a long time ago, and I don't know whether the appearance of this divine land territory is a blessing or a curse. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3575. Shui Wanren shook his head, feeling a little sad at the moment. Thinking about it so far, I feel deeply, and I don't know what to say. Invisibly, there was even an extreme sense of numbness sweeping over. It's a blessing, not a curse, and it's a disaster that can't be avoided. Just go to the Yuanqi God City to fight again. Tisk, it's really interesting. Tai Shiji shook his shoulders excitedly, and while talking, he walked forward, full of fighting spirit. A smile appeared on the face of Xiaoho Xiaotian, the commander of the city guards of the Bright God City. When there is a battle, he is happy. Of course, the premise of this war is to fight others on the basis of justice. He simply likes fighting, but he doesn't like killing. What are you waiting for? Just lead the troops there. Tai Shiji shook his shoulders excitedly, and then suggested. For it. Maybe need, wait. A complex look appeared on the herald's face. Hold on. What's the meaning? Didn't you say it was urgent? Is your herald real or fake? Why does it feel weird? When talking, it's even more inappropriate. Is your papal decree true? Tai Shuja instantly became vigilant. While talking, his eyes turned completely, and his thinking exploded to the extreme. As a gesture, Tai Shuja will capture the herald and interrogate him. Uncle G. Don't be rude. Exist. When will you stop your reckless temper? This papal decree cannot be faked. Let the herald speak slowly. Shui Wanren shook his head and couldn't help but sigh softly. I've always been so impulsive, when will things happen? Deputy Palace Master Shui let me know. I passed by the Bright God City when I came here, and I also gave orders to the Bright God City by the way. Cao Tang, the Lord of Guangming God City, said that he will send troops over soon, and join you all at that time. Because I'm on another mission, so I came earlier. If they say it, they may come later. But generally speaking, it should be here soon. The herald took 2 steps back, deliberately avoiding Tai Shiji's gaze, and then explained. Cao Tang. That dog thief is coming too. When I came here to help the God City of the 7th Academy, I kept shirking my responsibility and dared not come because of fear. What is he going to do now? Snored. Do you want to pick up the fruits of victory? Still snatching the battle exploits. Such a shameless person, what are you waiting for him to do? My great Uncle G only admires true heroes. Uncle G curled his lips, then said indifferently. This is indeed a bit straightforward, but I have to say that what I said is indeed some big truths. Because it is what it is. For it. Since the Lord City Lord is coming, Vice Palace Master Shui, Grand Uncle Mentor, otherwise, we'd better wait. Cough. Xiaoho Xiaotian, the commander of the city guards of the Bright God City, opened his mouth, and now he looked embarrassed. He also wanted to just leave like this, but it really couldn't be done. This wave is really too difficult, and I want to feel emotional invisibly. This feeling cannot be expressed simply in a few words. In the final analysis, he is also the commander of the city guards of the Bright God City. According to the establishment system, he is still under that Cao Tang city lord. Although Xiaohe Xiaotian was somewhat dissatisfied with Cao Tang's many actions, dissatisfaction was nothing but dissatisfaction, and he couldn't delay the business. In the Temple of the Alliance of Light, certain rules still have to be followed. Brother Xiaohe, what are you waiting for this kind of city lord to do? Just follow us. Anyway, the army listens to you. Could it be that the army will listen to them when Cao Tang comes? These city guards all admired your bravery and benevolence to fight the enemy bravely. That Cao Tang is nothing. Anyway, the military power is in your hands, just reverse it. Tai Shiji waved his hand, and then said seriously. The more I say it, the more unreasonable it becomes. That said, it's too floating. The more I say it, the more fluttering it becomes. With this thought, you can still feel a hammer. Fang Fan felt a headache when he listened to it. Can you take it easy? Don't be so fierce, I can't bear it, okay. He fools people into rebelling at every turn. Moreover, they are still rebelling in a physique like the Temple of the Alliance of Light. Whose rebellion is they rebelling against? Xiaohe Xiaotian was embarrassed at the moment. He also knew that Tai Shiji spoke quickly, so he didn't blame him, but it sounded a little numb. Uncle G. Back off. Nonsense. How can you say these words? Shui Wanren glared at Tai Shiji, and the corners of his mouth twitched. It doesn't matter what you say in private, but if it gets out, it must be a big disaster. Cut. It's meaningless if you're timid. It's better to go home and sleep. Taishaji yawned, then sighed softly, with a fearless expression on his face. Since Cao Teng is coming, then wait a little longer. We can just go on the road together. Shui Wanren, deputy head of the Guangming Academy, groaned, then nodded. In that case, I shall host a banquet to entertain you all. When City Lord Cao Teng arrives, it won't be too late for us to set off together. The food and drink are ready. Everyone move your seats. Everyone has just finished the battle, so you need some strong wine to wash away the evil spirits on your body. Ji Lan, the lord of the god city of the 7th Academy, stepped forward and continued. He simply wanted to entertain everyone and express his gratitude. Although as a cultivator, you basically don't need to eat to replenish your energy, but if you have the opportunity to eat delicious food and drink, under normal circumstances no one will refuse. Everyone came to the mansion of the Lord of the Divine City of the 7th Academy. The inside is in full swing, and many chefs are already busy in the open air. The aroma of meat and wine are perfectly blended together, and there is an inexplicable feeling of fascination. It's a joy to behold. A lot of beauties. Hiss. Old man Ji Lan looks serious. I didn't expect to raise so many beauties in his city lord's mansion. Good guy, this city lord is extravagant. This is to sing and sing every night without any change. Boy Fang Fan, or else you will become a city lord or something. Looking back, I can still enjoy this luxurious life. Then let me be the deputy city lord. In this way. Bai fluttered all hearts. At this moment, the eyeballs have been moving. The messy thoughts in my heart also surged out, and the more I talked, the more excited I became, the more I talked, the more excited I became. This is holding back for too long, quite a feeling of a sow competing with Diao Chen. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3576. Fang Fan gritted his teeth, found a seat and sat down. Communicating with Bai Piao is indeed a bit of a headache. This guy doesn't care about the occasion at all, he can say whatever he wants. It is indeed the wish of every man to lie drunk on the lap of a beautiful woman and wake up to take power in the world. But how do you say this kind of thing? You have to take it easy. Say it with great fanfare, and say it so loudly. For it. No, this is really not good, it looks like something. In order to be grateful, Dean Ji Lan made arrangements in all aspects in place. Taking a glance at the past, not only those stunning beauties are very eye-catching, but also in the center of the hall, there is actually a crawling dragon. At this moment, the dragon is dead, its skin has been peeled off, and there are hundreds of stoves below it that have been roasting. This is clearly a roasted whole dragon. Roasted whole lamb is no longer popular now. If you want to play, you can play roasted whole dragon. The sense of this picture seems to be particularly explosive. With a glance, his expression gradually became abrupt. What more can I say? In addition to this hard dish roasted whole dragon, there are countless other delicacies. I have to say that this arrangement is already excellent. Everyone took their seats, with expressions of satisfaction on their faces. Wine, food, beauty. I have everything. As soon as Fang Fan took his seat, concubine Chu Sixiang and other women came over. Sitting aside, Bai Piao couldn't help but began to sigh. Why? Improper son of man. Let me eat dog food every day. This dog food is about to vomit. My lord, I am Yafei, I will pour wine for you. A graceful voice sounded, and then a beautiful female concubine came over, with a unique fragrance all over her body. Between the words, the smile on the face is particularly appropriate. His eyes flickered unnaturally, and his eyebrows were raised across the board. She exudes a strange fragrance, which makes people subconsciously want to get closer. This was probably specially arranged by the city lord Ji-lan for them. Fang Fan obviously noticed that this female concubine named Yafei smiled at him intentionally or unintentionally. There is a lot of meaning here. There is no need to serve here. You can go now. Seeing Fang Fan's eye contact with this Yafei, Xiang Fei couldn't help humming, and then said directly. The other women basically have the same attitude. This harem lineup is already strong enough, no more can be added. Ah. I only listen to adults. Yafei smiled charmingly, and immediately made a gesture to move closer to Fang Fan's arms. This charm is really amazing. Just when her body was about to lie in Fang Fan's arms, a Heaven Zhan sword suddenly appeared in Fang Fan's hand, and he stabbed directly at it. Stab. Blood spattered out, and Yafei looked at her heart with a face full of unpredictability, and was instantly stunned at this moment. She was killed. Her mission has not been completed yet. Ah! The girls looked at each other, and then couldn't help screaming. What kind of routine is this? Good guy. How can you still play so crazy? Just come up and stab. Husband, even if you want to express your wish to our sister not to mess around, you won't kill her. Just let her go. Husband, why did you start killing innocent people indiscriminately? Gritting her teeth, Xiang Fei couldn't help but glared at Fang Fan and said. She just felt that it was wrong, very wrong. Husband, why did you become so murderous? You were not like this before. You have changed, Li Yulai is so sad. Xiao Li Yulai sighed, and while speaking, she couldn't help shaking her head violently, always feeling an extreme feeling in her heart. The movements on Fang Fan's side naturally also aroused the attention of the surrounding area. Seeing the female concubine stabbed to death by Fang Fan's sword, she was surprised. Such indiscriminate killing of innocents, how is it different from a devil? If you don't like it, you can give it to me. Slaughter like this, is this a challenge to Dean Ji-lan? Does this mean that Dean Ji-lan did not entertain well? Is that the case? This son has fallen into the devil's way, and must be eliminated as soon as possible. Caog, the inspector of the city guards, suddenly felt that he could do it again, so he couldn't help standing up and clamoring. Uncle Ji, Shui Wanren and the others were stunned for a moment, and felt that Fang Fan's actions were a bit strange. Although my apprentice has killed countless people, all of them are those who deserve to be killed. Uncle Ji frowned, with a look of astonishment. She has a dagger in her hand. The dagger is poisoned. This is a killer. Chu Ceci thought carefully, stood up suddenly at this moment, and then took a breath of cold air. In this way, many situations are basically clear. Fang Fan accidentally found out that this female concubine named Gap actually wanted to take advantage of the opportunity of collapsing on him to pull out the dagger, so naturally she didn't hold back her hand. Didn't expect someone to come and kill him the moment he came to the god city of the Seven Courts? It's really amazing. Fang Fan. You shameless person who defiled the goddess. Die. Whoosh. Suddenly there was a burst of shouting in the distance, and then suddenly 4 or 5 male servants took off their sharp weapons and came towards Fang Fan. The speed was extremely fast, and they wished to kill Fang Fan immediately. Defile, the goddess. He. This group of people belong to the dark camp. It's kind of interesting. I didn't expect to chase them all to the god city of the Seven Courts. Fang Fan squinted his eyes, and then sneered indifferently, thinking to himself at this moment, and gradually had some different feelings. Just, nothing. It's useless to think too much. Stay calm, it's better than anything else. How dare you assassinate my apprentice? Die. The great Uncle G started the crime. Fang Fan didn't need to take action at all, the great Uncle G had already taken care of some situations. With the outbreak of combat power this time, there was a strong sense of oppression for a while. In the main hall, there were suddenly a few more corpses, and the smell of blood in the air could not help but also intensified. As the host here, Ji Lan, the dean of Tianwu Academy and the city lord of the 7th Academy, was also stunned. How did such a good banquet become like this? How should this be done? Originally, Ji Lan wanted to express his gratitude, so he hosted a banquet. Who would have known that in the end it would be a full-scale murderous plan? The maid he arranged almost assassinated Fang Fan. In any case, he must be inseparable from this matter. Ji Lan looked bitter, and then stepped forward in fear. Little friend Fang Fan, hey, it's all my fault. I didn't investigate clearly and let suspicious people get in it. Today's trifles, if my little friend has anything to do, the old man will die. Fang Fan, I'm really sorry. Little friend Fang Fan, Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3577. Ji Lan took a deep breath, feeling infinite guilt in her heart. Want to say something but can't understand. It's so difficult. For it. This matter has nothing to do with Dean Ji Lan, I should know. These people are from the dark camp. Dean Ji Lan will never help the practitioners from the dark camp to kill me. It's because I have a deep grudge with the practitioners of the dark camp. Fang Fan yawned, then said calmly. In his opinion, it's not a big deal. Anyway, it has been involved and entangled all the time, it's very troublesome. It's gimmicky and a bit of a headache. Young friend Fang Fan, don't blame me. Ji Lan subconsciously froze for a moment, then couldn't help wriggling her lips, and couldn't help but glance at Fan Go. He was assassinated just now, so he can be so calm at this moment. It is really difficult for ordinary people to do this. From every point of view, it is indeed extraordinary. This child's future achievements are limitless. Ji Lan thought to herself. It's nothing strange. This assassination, isn't it the same as eating and drinking water, does it happen all the time? Got used to. Let's continue eating dragon meat. The aroma of this dragon meat has already overflowed, and I've been hungry for a long time. Fang Fan raised his eyebrows, and then said very directly. After all, it is indeed the first time to eat a roasted whole dragon. This wave of good luck. Fang Fan said he didn't care about it, but for Ji Lan, he was more or less indifferent in his heart, always feeling that it was because of him that Fang Fan encountered such a situation. President Ji Lan, don't think too much about it. It's not a bad thing for young people to experience more. Come on, let's go drink together. Shui Wanren waved his hand, then nodded. Although the current occupation against the Protoss is messy, but those don't matter anymore, I don't want to think so much. The more I think about it, the more anxious I feel. To be honest, there is really no need for this. It's better to eat meat and drink, and enjoy it. Why? Heroes are born as teenagers. Deputy Palace Master Shui, I heard that this little friend Fang Fan is also your son-in-law Cheng Long Kui, you are really lucky. Little friend Fang Fan is so open-minded, he will achieve extraordinary things in the future. I don't have anything good to give to little friend Fang Fan. This breastplate has been with me for a long time, and I hope little friend Fang Fan can accept it. Ji Lan pondered for a while, then took out a silver-white breast shield, and delivered it to Fang Fan's eyes while speaking. Semi-artifact level breastplate. This is worth a lot. And the breast guard is a rare existence, generally speaking, it rarely survives. This gift is too expensive. Dinji Lan, there is no need to. Shui Wanren couldn't help but step forward to refuse for Fang Fan. Now Shui Wanren seems to be taking the attitude of Fang Fan's old father-in-law. This wave of posture is well displayed, and it seems very comfortable. Deputy Palace Master Shui, I'm giving this to little friend Fang Fan, so don't stop me. Little friend Fang Fan, this is just a wish from me, you must accept it. Otherwise, I've always felt guilty in my heart. Ji Lan forcibly stuffed the semi-artifact level heart mirror into Fang Fan's hand, as if he could not refuse. No merit, no reward. Fang Fan originally wanted to refuse, but suddenly, a light voice came from his mind. Ding! The quest item Mingguang breastplate has appeared. Please grab the host as soon as possible. Complete the 4th phase of 9 armors returning to 1 as soon as possible. Mission Introduction, Bright Light Heart Mirror. This is a fragment of the Divine Armor, one of the fragments that devour the Divine Armor. Collect all 9 fragments, and you can forge a Divine Weapon. The first stage of the mission, looking for the soul-corroding Heavenly Armor, completed. The second phase of the mission, find the Pixio Armor, completed. The third stage of the mission, looking for the Red Sky Boots, completed. The fourth stage of the mission, find the Bright Light Breastplate, in progress. Introduction to the fourth stage of the mission. Mingguang's mental state is an important part of the Devouring God armor, and it is in the hands of the host at this moment. Reward for the fourth stage of the mission. The Bright Light Heart Mirror will be fully integrated with the low-level Saint-level Devouring Holy Armor directly, and the original low-level Holy level Devouring Holy Armor will be promoted to the ultimate Demigod level. The host's cultivation base has been promoted a big grade. Punishment of the fourth stage of the mission, does not exist. Remarks, the chance of the host is good, the system got the quest item before releasing the quest. The system sound echoed in his ears. Fang Fan looked at the task panel and fell into deep thought for a while. This. With luck, it took off. This is equivalent to whoring for nothing. Good guy, the quest item will be delivered directly to you. Fang Fan held the Bright Light Heart Mirror in his hand, and couldn't help but cast a grateful look at Dinji Lan. This wave of gratitude is still in place. It's very comfortable. For Ji Lan, it may be a semi-divine weapon level heart guard, but for you Fang Fan, this means a lot. The elders don't dare to resign. Thank you Dinji Lan for bestowing it. From now on, if Dinji Lan needs my help, he will die. Fang Fan nodded, and then expressed his attitude. This breastplate really means a lot to him. Haha. You don't have to be polite, little friend Fang Fan. If it hadn't been for little friend Fang Fan who has been helping us all the time when we were fighting against the God of War, I'm afraid my 7th Academy God City would have been destroyed long ago. From the bottom of my heart, I am still very grateful to little friend Fang Fan. This little thing is nothing. Little friend Fang Fan is the biggest contributor to this battle. You need to drink a few more glasses later. Let the old man talk about his heart. Ji Lan nodded, then smiled. In all aspects, it seems quite optimistic. This feeling seems quite appropriate. If you feel this way, it will follow in place. This son must be killed. In the distance, Caog, the inspector of the city guards, couldn't help squinting his eyes, showing endless killing intent in his heart. At this moment, there must be no slack. Young city lord had his arms cut off by this kid before. This boy has no respect for the city lord's mansion, and he is also the son-in-law of Shui Wanren, the deputy head of the Guangming Academy. To a certain extent, the relationship between the city lord's mansion and the Guangming Academy has always been not much to deal with. Well, it must be more secure. I am a man of the Lord City Lord, so naturally everything must be based on the will of the Lord City Lord. This Fang Fan has already controlled the resources of Guangming Academy, and now he has such a good relationship with Dinji Lan. That Xia Xiaotian is also quite optimistic about this kid. If you don't stop it, I don't know what will happen in the future. Could it be possible that the future bright God city will be fully controlled by this kid? Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3578. CAOG, the inspector of the city guards of Guangming Shenzhen, took a deep breath, and while thinking, all kinds of thoughts burst out in an all-round way. The more I think about it, the more intense my thinking becomes. The bright divine city belongs to my CAO family. Humph. This brat is not qualified enough to get involved. And this kid and I have already had a grudge. If he really controls the power of the bright God city, can I still have a good life in the future? At that time, I'm afraid not only will I not be able to be the inspector of the city guards, but I may even lose my life. No. Absolutely not. I won't allow this to happen. Huh, Fu, you must kill this kid before he fully develops. Well. So good. So good. A sinister smile appeared on the corner of CAOG's mouth. The more he thought about it, the more he felt that this was the case. Thinking burst to the extreme, let everything spread out. Future transformation will be fully in place. Now I'm alone. Don't act rashly. That bastard Xia Xiaotian will definitely not cooperate with me. That Grand Uncle G is nothing at all. If I really touch that Fang Fan, I'm afraid this guy will really fight with me for the sake of his apprentice. It's not worth it. Wait for the Lord City Master, the arrival of the City Master. At that time, the new account and the old account will be settled together. Snort. Arrogant in front of me, you are still a little tender. I'll let you groan first, then I'll have your good fruit to eat at the end. CAOG, the inspector of the city guards of Guangming Shenzhen, couldn't help but start brainstorming. The invisible brain supplement is the most deadly. Just don't think too much about it. Thinking through everything in the future. The wine is in the chest, the wine is in the throat, and the beauty is by the side. This taste is naturally quite refreshing. It took Fang Fan a while before he chose to integrate the mission supplies, the Mingguang Heart Guard, with the system. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the 4th stage of the mission. 9 armors returning to 1. Ding! The mission rewards will be issued. The bright light heart mirror will be fully integrated with the low-level saint-level devouring holy armor, and the original low-level saint-level devouring holy armor will be promoted to the top demigod level. Host Chiu in order to promote a big level. Ding! The swallowing holy armor is being fully upgraded. Ding! The swallowing holy armor has been successfully promoted from the low-level saint level to the top half-god level. This wave is completely a qualitative improvement. Swallowing holy armor, in place. The supreme demigod level devouring holy armor. So scary. Mission rewards are just beginning to unfold. Ding! The host has successfully advanced to a higher level. Ding! The host has been promoted from the initial stage of the 4-star sanctuary to the initial stage of the 5-star sanctuary. A comprehensive promotion of a large level is like a joke. And it is true. Fang Fan's cultivation base has not been promoted for a long time, and he was quite pleasantly surprised to be able to improve in an all-round way this time. The sense of joy is gathering in an all-round way. The more he thought about it, the more smiles appeared on the corners of his mouth. When Fang Fan's cultivation improved, the 6 heroes naturally smiled knowingly. At this moment, their cultivation base also broke through the barriers with the improvement of Fang Fan's cultivation base, and successfully reached the 8-star initial stage of the Holy Realm. As Fang Fan's battle situation became more and more high-end, in fact, the 6 heroes already had many intentions and powerlessness. When fighting, you will often encounter powerful people in the Holy Venerable Realm. And a group of heroes have never stepped into the Holy Realm, so when they are fighting, they will feel powerless. In order to help Shang Fan, they naturally felt extremely anxious. It's just that the limit of their cultivation is fully restricted by Fang Fan's cultivation. Fang Fan's cultivation could not exceed 3 major levels at most, and he was helpless and quite emotional. The reward delivered to your door, hey, it's so comfortable. This 9 armors returning to 1 is obviously a series of tasks. In the case of Jijia, there should be 9 series of tasks. Well, at present, this mission has completed 4 stages, and there are 5 more stages. After the mission supplies of the 4 stages are fused together, it becomes the supreme demigod level devouring holy armor. Actually, it's okay to call it the devouring god armor. After all, it has reached the peak demigod level. Under normal circumstances, such a high-end armor would not have much effect even if it is worn on the body, because it cannot be activated, or it consumes too much spiritual power to activate it, and even at some point there is no ordinary holy weapon level armor is easy to use. But this devouring god armor is completely different. I always feel that there is a special tacit understanding between me and me. It's really a strange feeling. Fang Fan's beauty was exaggerated, thinking to himself, he couldn't help but squint his eyes secretly, and the thoughts flickered all over the place. This is rather interesting. Interesting, really interesting. It's so interesting, I have to admire it. With this supreme demigod level devouring god armor on me, I am afraid that half a demigod will not be able to kill me instantly. If you wander outside every day, there is always danger. Well, if those demigods suddenly attack with all their strength, I may not be able to hide in the small world of Dao Shushan Pavilion in time. At this time, if I have the devouring god armor as a guarantee, as long as I can withstand the attack of the demigod powerhouse, I can instantly transfer to the small world of Shushan Pavilion to protect myself. Fang Fan tapped him, and with the armor of the gods, it meant he could be more promiscuous. Husband, what's the matter with you? Why do you look sullen and don't speak? Is it because our sisters are here, affecting your performance? If that's the case, you say it, you say it. Could it be that you fell in love with a female concubine, just because we are here, you can't speak? Sure enough, men are not good things. Do you start to have these messy thoughts in your mind now? Hey, is that so? Is that really so? I understand, I understand, I understand everything. It turned out to be like this. Family flowers are not as fragrant as wildflowers. Chu Sisi said rather resentfully from the side. The more I talked, the more emotional I became, and the more I talked, the more irrelevant I became. What is this, talking about? The corner of Fang Fan's mouth twitched, and his face darkened instantly. I just wandered around the world for a while, so you just do this for me? Although these female concubines are not bad in appearance, to be honest, they are still a lot worse than Xiangfei Chu Sisi and the others. The so-called wildflowers and home flowers are just freshness. Fang Fan is not the king of the sea, so how could he choose the near for the far, the good for the bad? It's nothing. For Fang Fan, the connection is not very big. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3579. How can I say it enough? Once a woman makes trouble unreasonably, it is really a headache. Anyway, no matter what, I can get you involved. A wave of bells and whistles. Enjoying the food and wine, it seems wanton and hearty. The taste here, only when you really feel it, will you feel comfortable. Invisibly, this kind of feeling gathered together in an all-round way. Slowly, it became blissful. It's coming, People are coming. The city lord has arrived. The Lord Cao10 is here. Halfway through drinking, I don't know who yelled in the hall, and then leaked the news. It's quite intense when I say it, but I don't really care about the others. It can even be said that there is no involvement at all. Because few people present were willing to move. Drink well, what are you going to do? Out to meet? Non-existent. The city lord is really here. Ha ha ha. Finally come. What are you all waiting for? Hurry up, hurry up. Hurry up and go out to meet the Lord City Lord. Quick. Quick. Excited yells swept over him, and the more he spoke, the more excited he became, and the more he spoke, the more surging. Naturally, these words could not be expressed simply in a few words. Caog, the inspector of the city guards, was so excited that he was about to jump up, and he quickly called everyone to greet him. Just for a while, few people responded. Among the people present, the practitioners of Guangming Academy naturally didn't bother to get up, especially the deputy mansion master Shui Wanren didn't move at all, and the other instructors and students naturally followed suit. This is quite true. As for the generals of the city guard army, they all naturally followed the commanding officer Xiaoho Xiaotian. But Xiaoho Xiaotian has never been the kind of character who likes to cheat. At this moment, there are all kinds of delicious food and wine here, isn't it delicious to drink and eat meat? Let him go out to meet him, and he is not happy in his heart. After all, the city lord Cao10 did not dare to come because he was afraid of the battle, but now that the danger is gone, he came here to claim the credit. This eating appearance is indeed a bit ugly, so it will naturally make people look uncomfortable. To have such a feeling can only be said to be too comfortable. Caog, the inspector of the city guards, yelled a few times, but nothing happened, and he couldn't help becoming embarrassed at the moment. Are you all so shameless? One by one, no response? Didn't you hear clearly? Then I continue to shout louder. The Lord Cao10 is here. Go out and greet me. Caog gritted his teeth and continued to roar. But at this time there is still no response. The audience is quite silent now. Not much to say, just stabilize your mind like this. As for the other ones that have nothing, they are nothing, and you don't have to care about them. Meat. Does he have no legs? Can't you come in by yourself? A person who has no courage to go to the battlefield, why let us meet him? Stop making noise there. Listen to be upset. Get out. Get out. Don't be an eyesore. Taishiji's instructor was quick to speak, and while talking, the sarcasm on his face was beyond words. This time the posture is in place, and it has already demonstrated his decisive posture. You. Puff. Caog gritted his teeth and wanted to yell a few times, but after thinking about it, he held back. It's enough to just fight with 2 sentences casually, it's better to stop. This person in front of him is not easy to provoke. He was about to come over and beat him at every turn, who could resist that? Stabilize, steady is still very necessary, don't wave. Caog's gaze continued to scan the hall, and he directly skipped Shui Wanren, because he knew that the relationship between Shui Wanren and Cao10 was not very good. It doesn't matter if the others don't support the city lord, but the bastards of the city guards actually want to rebel? One by one toasting each other, they look so happy. Hateful. Extremely hateful. This clearly means that the city lord is not taken seriously. Caog's eyes couldn't help flickering with a different kind of fireworks. This city guard seems to want to get out of control. Xiaohe Xiaoshan's prestige in the army is too high. As long as he is in the army will naturally not obey other people's orders. Not to mention him as a supervisor, I am afraid that even if the city lord comes, he may not be in his eyes. Thinking up to this point, CAOG couldn't help feeling a chill in his heart. This matter must be addressed to the city lord. We can't let Xiahe Xiaotian continue to be the great commander, otherwise the city guards won't know whether their surname is Xiahe or Cao in the future. Maybe he will be abducted by Guangming Academy. Commander Xiahe, the city lord is coming, come with me to greet him. You don't move, everyone is not moving. Humph. Everyone is looking at your attitude. CAOG gritted his teeth with a cold face, and then said seriously. Ah. What? Master City Lord. Where is the City Lord? Come here. Let him come here. Drink. Come in and drink together. How happy. The taste here is naturally not something that can be expressed in a few words. Come here. Come here. This dragon meat tastes really good. Let the city lord come in and have a talk. Gudong, Gudong. It's not bad that thousands of people are drunk. Good wine. Good wine. Xiahe Xiaotian ate to his heart's content, and couldn't help laughing at the moment. He didn't say a word about going out to greet him. Why bother? What are you doing with that style? Doing this style is respect? What do you think in your heart? True respect comes from the heart, and the so-called respect created by relying on this method is nothing. In a way, no one was convinced at all. You're actually pretending to be crazy. The Lord City Lord treats you well on weekdays. Is this how you repay the Lord City Lord with this attitude? Don't forget, how did you get the position of the great commander? Without the Lord City Master, you are nothing. Don't forget your identity, you are just a dog of the City Lord. A cold snort came, this CAOG is already playing with fire. Calling others a dog at every turn. For a tough guy like Xiahe Xiaotian, this is simply the ultimate insult. What did you say? Say it again. Xiahe Xiaotian stood up suddenly, and immediately caught it in his hands like an eagle catching a chicken. Xiahe Xiaotian grabbed CAOG's throat, lifted it up little by little, and gradually exerted force on his hands. At this moment, CAOG inexplicably felt the ultimate suffocation attacking his whole body, and his whole body trembled at this moment. Cough. Ah. Let me go. Crazy. Crazy. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3580. CAOG's throat was locked, and it was difficult to speak at the moment, but the frenzied look seemed quite real at the moment. The whole person almost fell directly to the ground. This state still looks very sandy. Apologize. Xiahe Xiaotian just said that, very indifferent. At this moment, he loosened his hand slowly, at least he could let the CAOG speak. Let me go. Xiahe Xiaotian. You bastard. How dare you treat me like this? I belong to the city lord. I belong to the CAO family. The city lord is my elder brother. You treat me like this, the Lord City Lord will not let you go. Dead. You are dead. Hateful. Extremely hateful. You can't save your life. Today next year will be your death day. Xiahe Xiaotian. You are the dog of my CAO family. CAOG, the inspector of the city guards, didn't know what it was at the moment, anyway, all kinds of words seemed more and more crazy. The rhythm of the speech is very strong, and the language is also very sandy, and the more I listen to it, the more I feel something is wrong. The sand sculpture land is not a star and a half. Even if you control the rhythm a little bit, it won't become what it is now. Xiahe Xiaotian's temper is actually quite good. If it wasn't for this, it would be impossible for someone like CAOG to be his supervisor for so long. But today, CAOG did touch his bottom line. The bottom line cannot be crossed. He had already given CAOG a chance, but this guy never grasped it at all, and his words were even more rampant. In this case, there is no need to say anything more. Click. Xia Xiaotian made a move, forcibly pinched off Caog's left arm, and then tore it off Caog's body. The power of this can be imagined. Pulling the arm hard, the pain was instantly in place. Ah! 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 My hand! Hand! Xia Xiaotian! You bastard! Die! Die! You must die! Caog's voice spread throughout the city lord's mansion. Cao Tang, Cao Man, and his son, who had just walked to the lord's mansion of Shenzhen in the 7th Academy, frowned subconsciously. What's the situation? Why is this cry so bleak? Cao Tang and Cao Man did have some filth and conflicts between father and son, but they are father and son after all, so now the relationship is reconciled, which is quite real. Cao Man also figured it out. It was because he had the title of young city lord that he was able to go smoothly all the time. If he really broke with his father, wouldn't his life be terminated instantly? In this case, naturally there is no meaning and value. The more I think about it, the more I feel that this is the case. So Cao Man took the initiative to reconcile, and also ask Cao Tang to take him to the battlefield to gain knowledge. What's the situation? Father. These people are getting more and more unruly now. No one came to greet you when they knew you were coming. Humph. It's just hateful. And Uncle G, since he became the city guard supervisor, he doesn't seem to have that much respect for you now. I didn't expect that even he didn't come out to greet you. Cao Man muttered, complaining from the side with a displeased face. People live for a lifetime, and the grass and trees fall in autumn. In fact, it's all for face and ostentation. Now it's not good to be left out in the cold. Shut up, you. After you go in later, you don't talk to me, I will take care of everything. This miserable cry, why is it so familiar? Cao Tang, the lord of Guangming God City, heard the heart-piercing roar, and couldn't help frowning, looking a little surprised and curious. This seems to be different from what I expected. Walk. Go in and have a look. Something's not quite right. The city lord Cao Tang groaned, and continued to walk forward. After arriving in the hall, his expression suddenly changed. This. Caog's left arm was twisted at this moment, and then pulled off, it was now in Xia Xiaoshan's hands. At this moment, those people around are watching the excitement. With a glance, this gesture is especially treacherous. My lord. Master City Lord. Woo, you're here. It's good that you're here. My lord, you must be the master for me. I'm so miserable. Master City Master. I am too difficult. My lord, Xia Xiaotian, that bastard, broke my arm in public. He wants to rebel. I just want to drag him to meet you together. It's fine if he doesn't want to, but he still wants to kill me. Caog, the inspector of the city guards, immediately began to cry. Those who hear it are sad, and those who see it cry. The heartbroken look at this moment is vividly displayed. The city lord, Cao Tang, frowned into the word Chuan. At this moment, his eyes couldn't help flickering, and his expression gradually became abrupt. Many things are changing. Just arrived, this happened. To be honest, I still feel extremely restless in my heart. This Xia Xiaotian has passed. If you say 1,000 words and 10,000, this Caog is also a member of his Cao family. It's Cao Tang's confidant, you beat him like this, even broke his arm, isn't that slapping me in the face? And it was a move I made knowing that I was coming. This is quite interesting. In it, there is a sense of treachery. The more I think about it, the more my brain explodes, and my thinking flutters. What happened? Commander Ziyaha, is that what Supervisor Caog said just now? One of you is the commander of the City Guard Army, and the other is the supervisor of the City Guard Army. They are equal to each other. Isn't it a bit inappropriate to do it like this? The City Lord, Cao Tang, gritted his teeth, and his tone was already questioning. Father, what are you waiting for? This guy obviously doesn't pay attention to you. Uncle G wants to bring someone over to welcome you, but this guy doesn't know how to praise him, but he doesn't go there, and even beats people. This clearly wants to stand on his own, and clearly wants to rebel. Father, in my opinion, just deal with it directly by military law. What kind of leader is this kind of person? Cao man rolled his eyes, and while talking, he curled his lips aside and said, anyway, he looked very proud at the moment. In a few words, it was mainly aimed at Ziyaha Xiaotian. I have nothing to say. He asked me to take someone out to meet the city lord. I didn't think it was necessary to work hard, so I didn't go. Then the bastard hurled insults at me. I was upset at the time, so I beat him up. That's the case. If the Lord City Master wants to deprive me of my position as Grand Commander, I have nothing to say. But if I were to do it again, I would still do it. Humph. Husband Ankh was humiliated.